Hello and welcome to the Team Newplex Podcast. Today we're doing our WrestleMania predictions and also covering all the good stuff and actually the better stuff, more likely, which is NXT Takeover on the Saturday. I'm joined by Newplex team members Ben Center and Jordan Profits. Very good to have you. You both well?
It's cold here. It's rather cold here in America. And yes, I'm the only American on the site, so you'll hear these lovely and charming British accents, and then you'll hear my disgusting American accent.
I wouldn't describe
America. We're one big dumpster fire.
That's not the opinion of the website, of course. That's just a personal opinion there.
Oh no! All opinions in America are expressed in the tone of Mr. Center and his love of America, USA.
Indeed. Groovy. It's pretty cold here, but not as bad as it has been, actually. No snow this weekend, which is good. And also, JOPO, it is in fact Monday. You just said it was Sunday.
It's a bank holiday feeling. Got me feeling a little weekendish.
Okay, let's jump straight into it. So NXT Takeover, which for the last few years has proven to be the better show, sort of on a wrestling perspective of the weekend. And this year looks like it's going to be another strong contender. This is the second NXT Takeover Orlando, I think, maybe?
I believe so.
Yeah.
No, it's Takeover New Orleans this year.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Everything is going so well. Yeah, either way, I think it's the second New Orleans Takeover.
Yeah, WrestleMania weekend, isn't it? It's normally...
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be great. So let's get started with the matches as I have them in front of me. And first we have the unsanctioned match of Ciampa versus Gargano, and he will be banned from NXT if he loses. What's your predictions about that one, guys? Let's start with Ben.
So I live in the hometown of one Mr. Johnny Gargano, Cleveland, Ohio.
Nice.
I had the pleasure of seeing Mr. Gargano's last independent match here in AIW, and I just got to see him in his last NXT match when NXT came through. Mm-hmm. This feud has been amazing. You never want to see someone injured, but the fact that Ciampa was injured 10 months ago now, and this feud has gone this long, and they've been able to use just like the DIY T-shirt and a couple of appearances here and there to prolong this feud. It's been amazing. And props to Tommaso Ciampa. He is a psychopath. He looks psychotic. That beard really does him justice. I think this match really could steal the show, depending on how much time they give them. Mm-hmm. Because there are a lot of other matches on this card. I think this takeover has more matches than usual because their takeover is only a 2-hour show, so they have a lot to get through in a short amount of time.
I've got 5 matches in front of me, but there are all sorts of ones that you would imagine need a considerable amount of time. You've got things like a ladder match and a lot of title matches, so these aren't going to be sort of 10-minute flings you wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, definitely. But I would have to say that I think that as much as I would like to see Gargano on the main roster, I don't think it's time. Mm-hmm. I think this feud has still some more juice to it. So yeah. I think that Gargano gets the win, perhaps with the help of his wife, Candice LeRae. Lovely, makes wonderful cupcakes. She brings cupcakes to AIW. They're just delicious. But I think he wins, and I think we see this feud go on a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm. And that is an inside scoop there on the cupcakes. That's an exclusive insight that you're not going to get anywhere else, folks. Tune in for more of that. Jordan, what do you think?
Going off of what Ben just said, I completely agree with the fact that the feud kind of needs to carry on, as good as Gargano is, and someone who I'd love to see kind of in that US title division on SmackDown Live. I think they need someone like him. They need that kind of fiery baby face, but I think they've got like a Texas death match down the road sort of vibe going, which I'd love to see between him and Ciampa, perhaps the next takeover. I think similar to Chris Harris and James Storm back in the early days of TNA, I think they had a Texas death match, which was incredible following their awful blindfold match. Mm-hmm. So I think Gargano Ciampa in a hardcore / street fight / Extreme Rules match in a few months' time is where the feud's going. Yeah, and I think Gargano is going to pick up the win.
Yeah, and I have to agree, actually, just for the sake of diversity with both of you guys. Yeah, absolutely the same. I think this is the sort of thing that needs to run on for a while. I'm in the boat of viewers of I watch NXT from time to time, but I wish I watched it more than I did. And whenever I hear about the ratings, I feel really bad because I'm like, oh, I really should be watching it. But the weeks there's only so many hours in a day. But I did catch the episode where William Regal made this match happen in a little sort of backstage segment. It's funny, it's a Full Sail, obviously. And you've got this quite serious, quite brooding thing happen. It's like, oh, it's going to be an unsanctioned match. Anything can happen. Against the backdrop of what looked like a film set for like a really quaint sort of, like family neighborhood type thing going on. Which I thought was quite fun. Yeah, same thing.
Have you seen the poster for this match?
I haven't, no.
No.
So there's a poster of this match, and you have Ciampa, and he's got that death stare, like he's that Sicilian psychopath. And then you have Johnny Gargano looking like the kid from Cleveland, just smiling like, man, I'm happy to be here. I'm just like, I'm jazzed and excited. And it's like, no, wrong face, buddy, wrong face.
To be fair, I think that's probably how I would be. I don't think I could pull off the menacing look very well. I would just be like, I'm so pleased to be here. Everything is going so well.
Takeover is great.
It is, and it is. And he has earned that smile. So I think he's going to pick up the win. And we could do a whole podcast about, people getting called up to the main roster when, to be honest, they're sort of killing it on NXT anyway. It's a bit bittersweet. And it was the same with...
Well, Ty is one example. Ty Dillinger, look what he's doing. He's absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was so over in NXT, had so much potential, and yeah.
Yeah, and the list goes on of people like that who are either not being used, not being, utilized to their full potential, or it's taken them ages from graduating from NXT to get to a decent position. But, that's a conversation for another day, perhaps. Okay.
And speaking of NXT call-ups, it should be on the website by the time you listen to this wonderful podcast.
Ooh,
I have written a nice article, my top 5
yes, indeed,
who I think should come up as NXT call-ups. The Raw to WrestleMania, they always have especially this year with the Superstar Shake-Up, Raw, SmackDown, right after Mania, there's always call-ups. Last year you had Shinsuke Nakamura, you had the Revival. So I have a top 5 list, so it should be on the website now.
Yes,
Go,
indeed.
take a look, and leave your feedback, and we'll all watch together next Monday and Tuesday and see if I was right or horribly, horribly wrong.
Yes, indeed. What a pro. Sweet plug there, Ben. Yeah, that will be online by the time that you guys listen to this podcast. Check it out on the Newplex.com. And also, if you search for WrestleMania, there's loads of cool WrestleMania features that we did that tie in from last year, which are still perfectly relevant today. And, of course, we'll have more stuff in the run-up. So, yeah, go check that out. Cool. So, ladder match to crown the first North American champion, which, another cool tie-in here, was John wrote an article recently, five new titles that WWE can introduce. This was one of them. It happened, so presumably your royalties check will be in the post. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe it will, along with my Boom Studios Power Rangers Shattered Grid royalty check as well.
Oh, yeah.
After predicting their storylines. So.
Also, wasn't Kurt Angle the GM in the Newplex comic? Like,
he was
on Raw?
this time last year.
Yeah, so...
Angle was announced in the Newplex comic as GM, and also the Bullet Club split up in the comic book.
Indeed.
With Cody turning Kenny, which is now taking place 1 year later. So royalties galore in my bank account. Yeah,
trendsetters over here. Anyway, ladder match for that title, the NXT North American Championship, which I think we can all agree is a brilliant idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That title,
excellent. I really like definitely the nod. Kind of, I think was it the NWA had the North American title as well, and I think Triple H is a very a bit of a mark for anything outside WWE.
Triple H is just a big old mark. And in that match, we have EC3, which is very exciting. Adam Cole, Ricochet, very exciting again. Lars Sullivan, the Velveteen Dream, and Killian Dane. Pretty sweet setup there. Who's got your money there, Ben?
Definitely.
Well, I could go with another Cleveland guy because EC3 is also from Cleveland.
Oh.
But he's also a very, very nice gentleman. But this, I would have to say, so and we'll get to this later, but Adam Cole is going to be a very busy man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that also it'll play into my my pick for the world title, NXT world title. I think Adam Cole wins this. I think Adam Cole is by far one of the most over guys in NXT. Having been to the NXT house show here in Cleveland, when he came out, the entire room does the Adam Cole Bebe. He is just someone that you want to watch, and he has the crowd. And so I think if you're going to introduce this new title, I think he's someone kind of like a Pete Dunne with the United Kingdom title, where yes, I mean Tyler Bate was a great first champion, but Pete Dunne has had that belt. He's going to have it for a full year because he just brings that that wow factor. Like, I need to watch this, and I think he's someone also that you can put out there, and he can really kind of build the brand of this title. So I think it's going to be Adam Cole, but I would say that if it's not Adam Cole, Ricochet. This is going to be Ricochet's first match in NXT, and I mean King Ricochet, the guy is absolutely amazing. I've been watching him since way back when he was in Chikara under a mask, and he had long hair, and he was this skinny little kid, and now he is one of the hottest wrestlers in the entire world. I think this match truly could be the match of the entire weekend. And I'm putting that out to all the other shows. You've got Janela's Spring Break, you've got the ROH show, all that. I think this could be the match of the weekend if they give enough time and then let the guys do what they can do.
Yeah, it is a strong possibility. I totally agree. Strong possibility of that taking the match of the weekend. I won't dwell on it too much, but I would put my money on EC3 actually. Just because he comes from that position of like the golden boy of Impact, by the time he left, sort of when Impact was having its mini renaissance, but it was having sort of a year and a half ago, it was all about EC3, and I think WWE would be silly not to capitalize on that. So which is why I'm kind of in two minds, because I sort of think, do it now, give him that title as a starting point and just get going. But they could do the same thing, like you say there with Pete Dunne. Give it to a good starter champion, then drop it to EC3 for like a longer haul. But that's my thoughts. Jordan, where's your money?
I am agreeing with Ben in the fact I think Adam Cole, Bebe, will be winning the North American title. I think I'd love to see EC3 win it because I think he's fantastic. If you saw his promo the other night on NXT, his first promo was absolutely outstanding, where he just marks out to his own theme music, and the fact that they made the belt for him, and he's just really excellent. But I think he will be going for the world title in NXT very, very soon, and I think the North American title is not below him. I don't want to say that, but I think Adam Cole could kind of lead that upper mid-card division. However, if I was to say a second person, I would go with the Velveteen Dream as my second option, as I think, again, Adam Cole being someone they could stick in that upper card echelon, whereas Velveteen Dream, I think, isn't ready for the main title in NXT yet, so I think he may be my second option. But I'm going to go with Adam Cole, Bebe.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, you could take any of those contenders and be like, they'd make perfectly good and first NXT North American champions.
Yeah, but, absolutely.
Except Lars Sullivan.
Perhaps,
Lars Sullivan is I mean, and I hate to speak ill of another Coloradoan because he's from my hometown of Denver, but he is. So I saw him wrestle Cassius Ohno, and there were many spots where I thought, oh no, he's dead. He's murdered him. So I think that he has a gimmick that could work, but right now, I am afraid for people on the ladder with him in the ring.
Cool, and maybe that's rather the point, but who knows? I guess we'll see. Speaking of Pete Dunne, as we were just a second ago, the NXT tag team titles are on the line, and as it stands, we have the Authors of Pain versus Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole versus Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. What do we make of that, Ben?
I think it's one of those things where Bobby Fish has been announced. They finally had to announce that he was injured because he's been injured for a while now, but they wanted to line it up with their TV. He's going to be out for possibly the rest of the year. I think if they want to keep the belts on the Undisputed Era, I think if Adam Cole doesn't win the North American title, they're going to win that, and they're going to keep the belts on him and O'Reilly. They obviously teamed together for a long time. They had the chemistry. I think they want to have belts on those guys. But if for some reason he does end up winning the title, I can see them putting the belt on Dunne and Strong and having them kind of an odd couple pairing. I think they want to get behind Roderick Strong because they haven't really given him a whole lot. I think they want to turn him into Mr. NXT but also he doesn't have that much time left. I think the only team that isn't going to win this is AOP because I'll give a little spoiler. I think AOP will be showing up on either Raw or SmackDown come Monday or Tuesday. I think that they're on their way out. I think it's going to be. If I had to put money on it, I would have to say it's going to be the Undisputed Era with Fish or O'Reilly and Cole.
Interesting. What's your take there, Jordan?
I'm going to go with Dunn and Strong picking up the belts. I think this feud between Strong and Dunn, I think still has legs behind it. I think they could do this odd couple pairing to the point where they do eventually fall out and lose the belts along the line. And I think Strong will eventually, I don't know what everybody's opinion on him picking up the UK title would be, but I think he will be picking up the UK title in the future off of Dunn if someone was to beat Dunn. I also think with Strong, I'd love to see them pull this double/triple duty thing where he kind of wins the Cruiserweight bout, wins the North American title, wins the UK title, and he becomes the bout collector of the WWE.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. And as far as my money goes, I place it the same way. I think that Roderick Strong's got this sort of golden boy vibe about him that they're going to want to push. Yeah, the Authors of Pain going on to the main roster. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. They've just not really grabbed my attention for whatever reason. But having said that, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess. But no, I think Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne are probably the best ones to win that one. Okay, moving on to the women's title match. NXT women's title is Ember Moon, of course, versus... Ooh, this is a difficult name. How do you pronounce that?
Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler. Cool. So, the NXT women's title, we've got Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler, which I totally knew, and that is going to be pretty cool, I think. I clearly know a lot about this one. Ben, help.
Well, so I'm bringing it back to Cleveland once again because Shayna Baszler is currently the AIW Women's Champion.
Currently?
She hasn't defended the belt in a long time. I tweeted at her when I saw her at NXT saying, "Hey, look, it's the Women's Champion. What, is the belt on the line?" And she tweeted back to me, "No," but it was in all good fun. She has an MMA background. She's one of the 4 horsewomen, along with Ronda Rousey and Roderick Strong's wife, and then a 4th one who I don't know. So she's very much the MMA style of grappler. She's still new in the business, but she's very good in the ring, very believable. Against Ember Moon, I think that right now having someone like Ronda Rousey on top. And then you also have Sonya Deville. You have 3 women that MMA is kind of their gimmick. I think as much as I like Shayna Baszler, and Shayna Baszler was in the finals of the Mae Young Classic with Kairi Sane, I think they're going to keep the belt on Ember Moon because they've just been kind of playing hot potato with that belt over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shayna wins, but my heart says that Ember Moon, I think she's going to slay the beast. I wouldn't be surprised if after the match Shayna chokes her out, and then we go whatever the next takeover is, and that's where Shayna gets the belt.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Ember Moon. I think she's got like a really cool sort of presentation. I don't want to draw a comparison to Finn Balor, but it's the same sort of like really cool theatrical presentation that works in a big way. It's different enough from Finn Balor for you not to be like, oh, she's just Finn Balor, but it's the same sort of emphasis on the sort of the theatrics, which can be really important, especially when you have a card of sometimes relatively samey people. I'm not saying that that's the case, but I think some people have felt the need to dial back the theatrics or just don't engage with it for whatever reason. So it is cool to have that on the card. For sure. What do you make of it, Jordan?
I don't know a lot about this feud. As you mentioned earlier on, I don't really watch NXT on a weekly basis as I should. I normally just watch the post-Takeover show and then the show leading up to the next Takeover. So I think they want to establish her as kind of the queen of that division, similar to what they did with Asuka. I think they want her to kind of lead the charge. So I'm going to say Ember Moon picks up the victory over Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. And I hope that's the case as well, because I think she's, a really cool character, a deserved champion, and does a lot. She's a good poster girl for sort of NXT women's division, so I hope she holds on to that for a while.
Absolutely, yeah. And she has a whopper finisher.
She does.
It is ridiculous.
And a badass theme song. And let's not forget the importance of a theme song.
This is true.
Finally then, of the NXT TakeOver card, we have the title match. Of course. Which is another name that I'm about to butcher, because I see it written down a lot, but I don't all that often say it. So,
Mr. Andrade Cien Almas.
Thank you for helping me out. Versus Aleister Black. I can just about manage that one. So I really like both of these guys, but I like Aleister Black a lot more. Which is saying a lot, because I like the name that I'm not going to attempt. Isn't that bad, by the way? Because that's actually quite easy, but I still can't manage it. And Andrade Cien Almas. That wasn't bad. That was close, right?
That wasn't bad. I think you got it.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Him versus Aleister Black. And I like them both, like I say, a huge amount, but I'm a huge fan of Aleister Black. Again, super theatrical. Yeah. I like his style. That it's a sort of really cool sort of brawler style. It actually, I mean, we're just talking about MMA a lot. He wouldn't be able to place in an MMA octagon with that style. Yeah, I think he's really cool, and I really would like him to win. Ben, what do you make of it?
I mean, I love Aleister Black. I love him since he was on the Indies as Tom Yend. But also Andrade Cien Almas.
Just rolls off the tongue for you. That's it. Mocking me with how easy it is.
Andrade Cien Almas, or as he was known, La Sombra.
I took Spanish as well. I can actually speak like a little bit of Spanish. Isn't that bad that I can't manage that?
But I like Andrade. He lost his way. He came into NXT in 2015, and he was an afterthought for the longest time. And then Selena Vega became his manager, and the last part of 2017, and now this year, he has been just phenomenal. And I love him to death. I think his character is great. I think he's bringing in some of the qualities that he was when he was La Sombra, and he founded Los Ingobernables along with all those fine gentlemen. But I think Aleister Black, I think this is his time. I think that they need someone, they need a face for all these heels, like an EC3, like an Adam Cole, all these guys to go against. And I think that is Aleister Black's the person. I think it's a hell of a match. I think it's another 5-star match. But I think Aleister Black picks up the win with a thunderous Black Mass.
I certainly hope so. Such a cool name for a move as well, which is weird. You wouldn't think, like, oh, that's a good name for a move. But actually, for anyone else, you'd be like, oh, that's in bad taste. But for him, it's really cool. Alrighty. So that's NXT then. And I think, it's going to be...
on that point, do you mind if I give my prediction for the Aleister Black?
No. No one cares.
That doesn't matter.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, tensions are building between the Newplex World Champion Jads and his tag team partner, the Punisher JOPO, right now.
We're not going to hear from you anymore. Let's just go straight now. Okay, go ahead.
No, on a quick note, I also, the same as you guys, love Aleister Black. I think he's got that Mortal Kombat Street Fighter kind of arsenal, which I think is just, it's what Glacier should have been, but wasn't. Back in WCW,
man, that's awesome.
He is just fantastic. His characters and his going back to theme songs, epic theme song, man. So cool. Oh my gosh!
It was performed live, I don't think by the original band, by someone else at the Takeover from WrestleMania weekend last year. If I'm right in saying that, I could be wrong, and that was badass. So badass.
Yeah, absolutely. And his match with, I think it was Velveteen Dream back in November, which stole the show.
Yeah.
But those two, absolutely. I think, but like you said, he needs to be that babyface. I think Ben mentioned it, that Adam Cole, EC3 kind of chase him for the belt, and he be that top babyface of NXT, similar to what Finn and Shinsuke were.
Sure.
So I'm going to go with Aleister Black defeating Andrade Cien Almas.
Now you're just showing off. Okay. Moving on. So that's NXT. It's gonna be so good. I'm really looking forward to that. So that's obviously on the Saturday, and it's not ridiculously long either. So we can watch it, get to bed at a reasonable hour, and be all fresh for WrestleMania.
Absolutely. I think pay-per-views on a Saturday evening are such a great idea as well. And
why aren't they all? Ben, can you help us on this? Is it why are they on a Sunday?
So originally, I believe one of the first pay-per-views were Starrcades, and I think it was more about the kind of the family coming together.
Mm-hmm.
That you had, Sunday evening, the family sits around the TV and watches the good old wrestling program.
Okay.
But I mean, I would much prefer. I'm an old man, and like this last WrestleMania killed me.
Sure.
I was like, I had to get up the next morning. Like I work at a school, and I'm going to stay up till midnight to watch this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I just started going to the gym before work. Today was the first day.
Mm-hmm.
5 o'clock in the morning. So full disclosure, I'm recording this podcast laying in my bed because I'm tired. Because I'm old. And so now I'm going to have this. Oh God! Yeah, I think like WrestleMania is going to be great. But a 7-hour affair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a nap between.
I haven't looked at the exact times, but I'm guessing if it finishes at midnight for you, that we're looking at a sort of 4 or 5 o'clock finish over here, aren't we?
Yeah, I think last year it was a 5:30 finish because I stayed up all the way through and went to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning.
You maniac.
I pulled a 24-hour.
No,
yes, it was a sad time. A WrestleManiac.
But I must indeed. I probably did sort of dip in and out of consciousness. I can't imagine I could have managed that.
I'm sure I fell asleep through Roman Taker as well, as
Well,
our love for Roman is not very high.
Oh. Okay, let's wait until we get on to that because I can't even. Okay.
And on to Mania.
And with that sigh of reluctance, let's talk about WrestleMania. No, let's be positive. WrestleMania is going to be great too. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Let's see then. I'm going to read off in reverse order of what I've got on the sheet here. So let's start with the Andre the Giant's Memorial Battle Royale. Yeah, that's first on my list. So let's talk about that. Who's going to win it, and also who's in it?
I mean, I think everyone that doesn't have a match currently is in this thing.
Is Zack Ryder in it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he is.
Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, Mojo Rawley, a who's who of who is that?
Yeah.
I really want Zack Ryder. Do you also get the impression that Zack Ryder does not like Mojo Rawley? Like, even a bit. I think he really hates him.
Yeah.
Like, not even storyline. I think he genuinely hates him.
Legit. Yeah, I remember when Takeover came to London back in 2015. I was there live, and me and my friend, the Newplex Rise champion, King Baz, who will be listening to this podcast once it goes live, were there for that show. And on their entrance, Zack just wanted nothing to do with Mojo.
Just tripped him up, just threw things at him. I don't know this man.
People were booing when the Hype Bros came out, but they were cheering Zack and booing Mojo, and I think Zack at the time was thinking, damn, I need to leave this tag team.
The other thing is I think actually Zack Ryder, I mean, from watching things like, if you just like follow him on social media, he's very active on social media. He's like, obviously being a wrestler takes a certain level of sort of being a bit of an extrovert and being quite out there. But I think he's actually quite like a chill guy. I don't think he's like really sort of... I think if you like met him in a bar, I don't think he would be like crazy. I think he'd actually be quite sort of like, oh, hey, I'm Zack Ryder, how's it going? But and I think for some reason he's got this image of being this like crazy like energy blah, 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 thing, and so that's why he was paired with Mojo Rawley, who is this horrible toddler of excitement, which is just unbearable. Like I couldn't stand to be around that, and they just clash. And I think Zack Ryder just absolutely hates him. And like we all were like, yep, totally. I see why you don't like him, and I also do not like him. Yeah,
absolutely.
So
I mean, this might kill us getting any kind of backstage access, but Mojo Rawley is the goddamn worst thing ever.
Isn't he?
he ruined Zubaz. I like Zubaz, but he has like 50,000 Zubaz. He is everything that is wrong with the world,
with everything,
and masculinity, and like he is a toxic human being.
he is,
and if you watch the Breaking Ground, the NXT like behind the he made me like Baron Corbin and feel bad for Baron Corbin.
Yes, absolutely.
Because he was dogging him. He's like, yeah, man, eat that food.
Yeah.
He's like, Baron Corbin was just trying to eat some Chipotle. He's a garbage human being.
Yeah. I just
and the fact
can't
that his
stand to be
name
around that
is on the
level of
list with like
energy.
Cesaro. Yeah.
No, he's that guy at 9 o'clock in the morning when you're still drinking your morning coffee. He's there in your face, like, "Come on, bruh, come on, bruh,
seriously.
you gotta be lively, bruh."
Yeah. You use bros to punctuate every sentence. Just get in the bin. What are you doing?
My pick to win this. So my two picks. My first pick is kind of out there, and the second one I think is actually pretty solid. My out there pick, Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
is he in
Samoa Joe has no matches. He has no match for now, and there's a very good chance he's cleared or close to being cleared. So I think he winning this could actually do what this thing was supposed to do and be a springboard. The other name out there that who's been cleared but no one cares, Big Cass. Because Vince loves him, a big dude. So I would say I want Samoa Joe. I would not be surprised if Big Cass enters this thing and wins.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that. But I'll also be desperately hoping for Zack Ryder to win, and if he doesn't, I will cry. John, what do you think?
It's a tough one simply because there's just so many guys in there that I don't really give a damn about. I love Dolph Ziggler, but it's got to the point where he's got kind of go away heat with me now. I don't really want to see him wrestle anymore, which is awful because he's great. If I was to say who I think's gonna win it, I think it. I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna say the reincarnated Bray Wyatt.
Oh, really?
Will win the Battle Royal
from the Lake of Resurrection.
It is indeed the Lake of Reincarnation, where Bray Wyatt will step out of those waters.
What's the name of the
A
boat
reborn
again?
man.
Skarsgård, something like that.
Oh, Skarsgård, the dilapidated boat.
Yeah. I love it. And there's this whole thing, again, this is probably a conversation for another day, but apparently Vince hates this whole ultimate deletion thing. But the ratings are like through the roof, and so they just can't argue with it. And apparently all because Cole was like really ragging on it, wasn't he, for the whole time?
Yeah. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was
hilarious.
I don't think all wrestling should be like that, but
there's
that has a space. Absolutely.
It's an antidote to the Roman Reignses of the world, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. Let's move on then to the renamed WrestleMania Women's Battle Royale, renamed for obvious reasons, although obviously not obvious enough to not name it that in the first place. But hey, let's not dwell. They got there in the end. Who's going to win that? Ben.
Okay, so first off, if you look at the trophy is 100% a female reproductive organ.
Well, obviously. I mean, what else would you present to a winner of a battle royale?
Yeah. Vince is
chocolate titties.
Yep, 100%. That is 100%. I'm sure it's like he said in his life. I think that the two obvious winners are either Sasha or Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
Or they cost themselves and they dump out. So if it's not going to be Sasha or Bayley, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be someone from NXT.
Okay.
So I could see someone like a Billie Kay or Peyton Royce, or maybe both of them dump out. I think it's going to be someone from. I think I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be Peyton Royce. Peyton Royce is going to win the Women's Battle Royal.
Interesting. John, what do you think?
I'm going to be wrong, but it's going to be.
I'm going to go with kind of what Ben touched upon there. I think Sasha and Bayley are going to cost each other, and it's going to lead to the first ever SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, winning the Battle Royal.
Oh, interesting.
I think Becky deserves it. I think she's a phenomenal wrestler, but someone who kind of gets kind of pushed aside when it comes to Charlotte, Bayley, and Sasha out of those 4 women. So I think she definitely deserves it, and I think it's a good boost for her to go back up, which I, as Ben has written a post about as this podcast goes live, I think Becky will be going over to Raw in the near future.
Yeah, I can see that. Where would I put my money? Hard to say. Sasha Banks was sort of on this upward trajectory for such a long time, and then just all of a sudden kind of isn't. And the reason I'm leaning towards thinking about her in particular is that, and the reason it's on my mind is because WWE has started promoting their upcoming show. Is it in Saudi Arabia that's coming up? They've got the greatest Battle Royale. And I remember, and it just sticks in my memories, the last time they did a show there, Sasha Banks was performing with, and I think it was Bayley, and by all accounts, like, they absolutely killed it. But I really took issue with the fact that they were made to wear, like, more conservative costumes.
Yeah, they kind of wore, like, Power Ranger-esque lycra, didn't they? Yeah.
Which, so it was a bit bittersweet, because on the one hand, it's like, oh, they're being pushed to this new market. That's like, that's a great show of faith. From sort of the corporate brass saying, this is the product we want to push. This is, they are ambassadors for this division of the product. And then obviously the bitter part being, oh, but we're also going to make it more palpable to tastes that perhaps, don't agree with our Western mentality. Either way, that's anyway. So that's why Sasha Banks was on my mind, and I was thinking, if that's the position she was in not that long ago, could she be back there again? And do they want her back there again? And I think they do. So that's why I would put my money on Sasha Banks. But I, with either of these battle royales, could be very easily proven very, very wrong.
Well, yeah, you never know, really, do you? It's kind of a throw a ball down an alleyway and see how many pins get knocked over.
Cool. And with that in mind, let's move on to the Cruiserweight Championship. We've got Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. Ben, who's going to win that?
I loved the new 205 Live, even though Drake Maverick is the most name generator name ever.
Yeah.
Good Lord, it's like But these two guys are fantastic. These are the two guys that kind of kicked this whole thing off. I'm so glad that they're in the mix. I got to go Mustafa Ali because I think he is so likable and he is so charming. And Cedric Alexander has come so close. He was supposed to get a title shot against Enzo before Enzo'd himself out of a job.
Yeah.
And so I think he's so close, and I think he's going to get so close again, and Mustafa Ali is going to turn. Now, I pray that they don't turn him into some kind of caricature of someone named Mustafa Ali, and they just make him a bad guy who happens to be named Mustafa Ali. But I think he's such a good babyface, he could pull it off. So I pray this match is not on the kickoff show, that it makes its way to the main show. But I think Mustafa Ali, he cheats to win, he breaks the heart of Cedric Alexander, and then they're off to the races with this new 205 Live.
Yeah, totally agree. I would really like to see him win. I'm not sure if it has to be that way for me. I'm quite happy for him to stay as a face for a while longer, but either way, I would really like to see. To be honest, again, this is one of these matches, and you could say it's a lot with the NXT matches. It's the same story. It's like I really don't mind who wins because I know it's just going to be a great match. But sort of thinking longer term, I would quite like Mustafa Ali to win. Jordan?
Yeah. I also agree with both of you. I think Mustafa Ali is going to pick up the victory, and I think Cedric is just going to go on to kind of chase that bout and maybe eventually pick up around SummerSlam and have that kind of boyhood dream Shawn Michaels-esque victory where it's like, finally, Cedric has done it. Cedric has won the Cruiserweight title, and I think that's kind of the best way to go. I think Cedric's someone they've kind of built the division around as of late. Obviously, he's in the final of the title tournament, and I think the future is bright for 205 Live.
Indeed.
And I think Cedric Alexander could transition out of 205 Live.
Absolutely.
And he could be a megastar. I mean, he's bigger than Finn, and God bless Finn. I love him to death. But I think that he is someone that in a year's time could be going for the U.S. or Intercontinental title and put on some hellacious matches.
Didn't he drop weight to kind of get into the CWC in the first place?
Yes, he did. He had
yeah.
to drop quite a bit of weight. But, I mean, imagine him and Seth Rollins
Yeah.
fighting for the IC title. There's money in that match.
Indeed.
Absolutely. And on that kind of point of kind of titles and things like that, do you think that WWE should maybe kind of adopt this New Japan style of how challengers become challengers and number one contenders? Kind of they just come out and it's like, look, I want that title. I'll gain 15 pounds and become a heavyweight, and I'll fight you for that belt, instead of the old cliche, let's just stick the top 4 contenders in a 4-way and see what happens. What are your guys' opinions?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's not to say that you couldn't do it the old way. It's just add more, you know. No one's ever going to say, there's too much variety here. There's always room for more stuff. And also it feels much more organic that way, doesn't it? Of someone saying, you know, I'm ready for this challenge.
Yeah.
I want to step up and do it.
Yeah, like I'd rather Cedric kind of come out after a Seth Rollins match and be like, look, I've been in the gym, I've gained 15 pounds, I'm no longer a cruiserweight, I want the IC title.
And I think the other benefit of that also is, I think a problem with WWE in general at the moment is that, I mean, they've always had the authority figure, and the authority figure works really well, but at the moment it's just so much of it. And at the time when I was really least into WWE was when sort of the authority, as it were, which was sort of Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and then occasionally Vince McMahon, were just on screen so much, and like every Raw would open with like a 20-minute promo from like Triple H or Stephanie, and I'm like, this isn't why we're here. We're not here to watch bureaucracy, you know. I know it's like villainous and all the rest of it, and it all serves a purpose and blah 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 blah. But we could do with a lot. And don't get me wrong, William Regal, I would pay money to watch a show with him on his own just talking, which I think exists actually. I think you can go to those sort of talking shows. But when I'm watching a wrestling show, I would like there to be more wrestling, more of the sort of superstars doing stuff for themselves, as opposed to constantly being handed things by, you know, either benevolent or benign authority figures. It will just get a bit tedious, I think.
Well, I mean, and you look at things like, you know, New Japan doesn't have an on-air general manager. NXT, Willie Regal shows up every now and then when he absolutely has to, but you don't see him week to week. You know, even like things like Progress, you know, where you have the owner of the company is the ring announcer, and every now and then he'll make a decision, or one of the other two. But for the most part, the guys handle it themselves.
Yeah.
You don't need to have a general manager there every single week. And the fact that you have a general manager and a commissioner now, that is too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of not wrestling, and it gets in the way, and it's just a bit tedious. Okay, on that happy note, let's move on to the Raw Tag Team Championships. We've got The Bar versus Braun Strowman and the TBD partner, who I really want it to be Jason Jordan. I know it won't be. He's not clear. He's not going to be for a while, but I think he's amazing. I want him back. And so I guess so. And we'll try and move it along a bit quicker now. I guess who do you think is going to win, and who's your pick for Braun Strowman's partner, Ben?
The Bar is going to win because they need to win. But I think it's going to be Braun and Elias. I think that the Bar is just too good of a team, and Braun has been screwed by this whole keeping him as an insurance plan just in case. But I think the Bar wins, and then Braun destroys Elias, and it's all good fun, and it's 5 minutes total. Sure,
and it leads on to more things in the future. I would totally agree with that. And just to fill anyone in that doesn't know what Ben was referring to there, the rumor is Braun Strowman was kept out of the sort of IC or even main event picture because of a documentary that was being worked on by some random dude who claimed that he had evidence that suggested Roman Reigns was involved in this big steroid ring, along with the likes of sort of Marky Mark Wahlberg and blah blah blah. And the dude responsible ended up in jail, and he'd handed over his laptop, which had a load of evidence. Apparently, he made this 30-minute documentary which said literally nothing. Like there was nothing in it at all. But WWE play, they aired on the side of caution, and that's why we're in the position we're in. Having said that, the position we're in, I don't think is terrible, but that's why, and that's fun. And also that was boring because it took weeks for him to release that documentary, and I was kind of excited to see like what it was all going to be about. And I can't believe he released that thinking that, oh yeah, this is going to be hot. Yeah, this is crazy. It was literally nothing in it. Anyways, Jordan.
I believe that Elias is going to be Braun's tag team partner, but I'm going to go with the odd couple pairing as Strong and Dunn, similar to what they'll be doing. I think that will eventually lead to Strowman and Elias breaking up and losing the titles at a later time. However, I think Strowman is going to be the guy who holds both belts and refuses to let Elias hold a belt, sort of thing. And Strowman kind of carries the team, does all the work, and just kind of keeps kicking Elias's ass in the process.
I have such mixed feelings about Strowman. For weeks, his whole thing on Raw was, oh, what can I tip over this week? And I was like, really? There was this time when he was like tipping over the production lorry. And I thought, really? Is this what we're watching? But then on the other hand, I'm like, do you know what? He's kind of self-aware. There's a hint of irony to it all, so I'm just letting it happen, to be honest. I think if it was a different time, I'd be like, what are we watching here? But at the moment, I'm like, do you know what? I'd rather be watching this from Roman Reigns. So you go ahead, you tip over that lorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
His gimmick is attempted murder.
Sure.
That's his. And also, there's rumors that they're going to bring over the storyline from the Mixed Match Challenge of him and Alexa Bliss, which is basically, oh wow, he's big, she's small. How are they going to have sex? That's the gimmick
Great
going
storyline. That is the kind of intellectual thinking I want in this program, in this PG program.
I feel sorry for kind of Buddy Murphy and all this. He's losing all this weight to enter the cruiserweight division. Then Braun's stealing his girl. I mean,
but he is the best kept secret of 205 Live.
This is yes.
Indeed. Alrighty. Let's move on to the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, which is the Usos versus the New Days versus the Bludgeon Brothers, who I know nothing about other than it is Wyatt family alumni. I'd put my money on the Usos retaining. Failing that, maybe the New Day. Ben, what do you think?
I hate the Bludgeon Brothers with the passion of 1,000 suns. It is a stupid name. It's a stupid gimmick. I want to rescue Luke Harper because he's awesome. Eric Rowan is the fetch from Clueless of the WWE. They keep trying to make it a thing, and it's not going to work. It's just terrible. He's not good at what he does. But Vince is booking this product. Mm-hmm. Vince loves big dudes.
Yes, he does.
So my heart says the Usos because they're doing the best work of their entire career. This is their first WrestleMania match in 9 years, which is insane. I just Blood Brothers walk out. This match is going to be the bathroom match, which is sad to say, but it's going to be the bathroom match.
Yeah, and to be fair, when you're dealing with 7 hours, you need them. You need to have them.
Not every match can be 5-star kind of classic. Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a chance to check Twitter and make a cup of tea and, these sort of things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The cup of tea matches. That's what some people call them the bathroom matches. I always call them the cup of tea matches because, I don't know, our kettle's really slow. It takes ages. So by the time you make yourself a nice cup of tea, then you're ready to carry on with the evening. Alrighty. Did you answer that, Jordan?
I did not, but to give my...
No, we're not hearing from you. No more opinions from this man. No, sorry.
Just kind of say it quickly, I think the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win just so that the New Day and Usos can eventually pick up the belts once again without having to defeat each other in the process.
Cool.
And so Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan.
Cool. Note to Charlie, just cut out everything that Jordan says because it's relevant. That'd be great. Cheers. Moving on.
Delete!
I feel like I need to leave a second note for Charlie now to disregard that earlier note. Here note, right? If not, it would just be me and Ben, and that's fine. Alrighty, moving on. We got the United States Championship. How about that? We've got Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal, and Rusev. Every day is Rusev Day. That's where my money is. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna let Jordan go. I'm gonna let the Forgotten Man go first.
The Forgotten Man. I mean, that's a new nickname to go by, isn't
But
it?
now when
Watch
people
out
listen
for
to
that
this, it
one,
will just be a
folks.
blank. It will just be blank because you're passing to him. He's going to be cut out, and rightfully so. So
My
what's
profile
going on?
photo on Twitter will now be an egg with a purple background.
Yeah, just
Uh,
like deleted. Gone.
I think Rusev Day is 100% going to be winning the United States Heavyweight Championship, as I like to refer to it, because
Nice.
I'm a bit of an old school mark. Though I do think kind of Orton could have been the Tanahashi for the US title, similar to what Tanahashi did with the IC title last year. Well, it must have been because it's the only time I started watching New Japan. But I think Randy holding that bout for a prolonged period of time and dropping it to someone like a Zack Ryder in a year's time would be really interesting. But I think due to the popularity of Rusev and his sudden injection into the match, I think it will be Rusev.
Nice. Ben?
I've got to go. Yeah, Rusev. I think that he should have been in this match the entire time. He has gotten himself over. Vince McMahon hates nothing more than you getting yourself over without his permission. And also big shout out to Aiden English. Like when his tag team partner got fired, Simon Gotch, I thought this guy was doomed to the scrap heap of time. But kudos to him. He's making it work. This act, I thought it was going to die down after a little while. It is definitely not. And when you know it, WrestleMania lands on Rusev Day. So Rusev Day is it's in the stars. And if Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton can just fuck off the planet, that would be the best thing ever. Because I'm just done with them.
Yeah.
To
the
bin.
For me, is a shame because I think Randy is so excellent, but so bollocks at the same time. I think he's the
kind of
something
guy
that just
as well,
annoys me.
You'd say that. You'd be like, do you know what, Randy, you're so talented, and you could do anything. You've had such an amazing career. Why are you just sort of doing nothing? And he's the kind of guy who would just turn around and say, oh well, my new Ferrari that I just bought would disagree. It's like, come on, dude, it's about more than the money, and he knows that. He's just, I don't know. Maybe he'll have a renaissance, I'm sure, at some point. But for right now, he's just.
Randy vapes. That's all you need to know about him. He vapes. That's literally like.
Does
he looks so bored. That's what he looks like. He looks like he's bored in everything he does.
Does he actually vape?
Oh yeah,
he does.
He vapes.
I believe Zack Ryder called him out on it on Twitter.
That has reduced my opinion like tenfold. Is he like 14? What's that about? Vape Nation. Okay. Let's time is wearing on. Let's speed through the rest here. We've got I say speed through.
Quick fire.
We've got Intercontinental Championship, and I'm very pleased that Braun Strowman didn't end up in this because I really like. This is probably going to be one of my favorite matches from the WrestleMania cards. We got The Miz, who I think is just the most underrated, sensational person of all time, versus Seth Rollins, who's great, versus Finn Balor, who's amazing. So I don't care who wins because I like them all. I don't see the point in Seth Rollins winning. So either The Miz or Finn Balor, and I'm happy. Ben, what do you think?
I would love The Miz from Cleveland, Ohio to win, but I got to say it's going to be Demon Finn because they're not going to waste Finn Balor's first WrestleMania appearance. They're going to give him the full entrance. He's going to win, and I think he is turning, and Balor Club is going to become evil, and they're eventually going to set up a showdown with him and AJ Styles down the line.
That would be pretty sweet. Got new
I think they're going to
t-shirts out, aren't they? OGBG. Which are pretty cool.
Troll level is 1,000.
Indeed.
Definitely. Similar to what Ben said, I think they're not going to waste the Demon King persona and have him lose. I think they're going to kind of protect that gimmick for him. I think Balor will be winning the IC title. They're all great anyway, and I'm sure they're going to have a great match, but I think Finn will be walking out, and to what Ben said as well, I think he will be feuding with AJ in the future and kind of replicating what Kenny and Cody are doing at the moment.
I mean, play their cards right. Finn Balor is the next Undertaker.
Yeah.
And one of the first posts I ever wrote was about what might happen with the Undertaker after he's like completely done. And I kind of feel like it's maybe too late, but maybe not, for sort of the Undertaker and Finn Balor to sort of do something together whereby the Undertaker sort of passes the mantle, as it were, to Finn Balor, and he becomes sort of like, the demon dead man type thing. He takes on elements of the Undertaker's. Maybe even if it's just, he takes on some of his moves. Maybe he starts using the pile driver when he's in like demon mode, or maybe like
the druids in the entrance, and I
would really like that. And it's a way, it's still Finn Balor's own identity, but still, and then in another sorts of 30 years, Finn Balor he passes it on to someone else, and it's a cool way of keeping the most iconic figure in wrestling alive forever, which would be really cool. Moving on to the Raw Women's Championship, we've got Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. I like both of them. I really like Nia Jax. I think I know she's a heel, but she seems like so nice. Anytime you see her out of the ring, she just seems so lovely, and you just like, you want her to win. Ben?
I think it's going to be Nia Jax. I think that I want it to be a squash match. As much as I love Alexa Bliss, she has mastered her character all the way. I think that she wins in a squash match, and then Alexa Bliss starts to torture the mind of Nia Jax. Mm-hmm. She really starts to mess with her. Maybe she teams up with two people coming in from NXT. Read my article for more details. But I think that maybe she grows her ranks. But yeah, I think it's a squash match. Less than 5 minutes. Give that feel good moment, but then the real evil starts.
Sure, Jordan.
I think Nia is winning this one, and Nia.
Yeah, cool. Let's keep it simple. Moving on to Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. Maybe. Oh, there's that. Maybe is that confirmed?
Yes.
Is that confirmed?
I believe it is.
It is confirmed, but if it's the whole thing is they said he has diverticulitis. If it's true, and also he had hernia surgery. Wow, it's a hard word to say. Hernia surgery. Mm-hmm. There's literally no way he actually could go. So they said it's confirmed, but sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull it off. Regardless of who his partner is, Daniel Bryan's going to win this. They are not going to have him lose in his first match. He's going to win. And then Kevin and Sami, either Steen or Generico might show up on SmackDown.
That would be so cool. And also on that,
the
Generico Twitter accounts become active again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I believe Owens has changed his to Fight Steen Fight lost his Twitter verification in the process. Yes.
That's hilarious.
That is committed to the bit. I love it.
Yeah. But let's just take a very quick moment though to be like, Daniel Bryan is back. Isn't this just like the best news that we've had in ages?
Absolutely. Did you hear the story of what he did? The process of him getting back to in-ring capability?
Like touring about, isn't it? He's just been going to various neurologists.
Yeah. Apparently
he's stack of approval of cleared forms, and then just throwing them at the WWE doctor, saying like, "Look at all these people that have cleared me. You need to clear me now."
Yeah. Apparently he has reoxygenated his brain, which is absolutely ridiculous.
I do that. Sounds nice.
Which, fair play to him, and I can't wait to see the dude. And like his wrestling ability in that short segment he had the other week, when he hit like a snapdragon on Sami, and I was like, dude, you are so good.
And if you notice, when he hits those corner drop kicks, before he would just fall on his head, if you notice, he's putting his hand down and he's pivoting with his hand.
Yeah.
So he's changing his style, but not in a way that you can really see unless you're really watching it.
Yeah. No, and to be honest,
so I think
I'm more than happy for that.
The dream matches.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we could sit here all day and talk about all the amazing things that we'd like to see, who we'd like to see Daniel Bryan go against. I mean,
AJ Styles.
I mean, but also The Miz following the potentially the
they've
best
got such a story
promo
to tell
ever on Talking Smack. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so cool. Okay, let's move on. Have we all? So, Daniel Bryan's going to win. We would agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Undertaker versus John Cena. Is it confirmed yet? Who knows? Potentially bad.
He's answering the challenge tonight.
Oh, good.
Undertaker He will be showing up on Raw, apparently. Yeah.
American Badass Undertaker has been rumored. What do we make of that?
Okay, so this is where they're going to have Kid Rock played Undertaker to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather listen to someone fart into a microphone for 5 minutes than Kid Rock.
Isn't Kid Rock terrible?
He's absolutely the worst.
But
and
as
so
a human.
I grew up in Michigan, where he's from. Oh no, he's the worst. He's a Trump supporter.
Sure.
So and I apologize to anyone that is a Trump supporter. But Trump is the worst, and if you're supporting him, you're also the worst.
Ben's opinion.
All views.
This is not.
All views
Ben's
opinions are my
do
own.
not represent Newplex Incorporated.
But no, I mean Trump is. Kid Rock, not great. His music was terrible. Even though, full disclosure, the first 2 CDs I ever bought with my own money were Limp Bizkit and Kid Rock. So take that as a grain of salt.
Yeah, wouldn't you much rather have Rolling as the theme anyway?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
I also really like the You're Gonna Pay one. In fact, that's my favorite.
Big Evil, yeah.
But I think this match should have happened 5 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care.
Sure.
I honestly don't care about this match. It's not going to be good if it happens. The Undertaker, the first time my wife watched wrestling with me was when Brock fought The Undertaker in this very building. And her exact words were, "Why is that big man beating up that grandpa?"
Oh, no.
And so now it's years later. Now,
that was 5 years ago. Oh.
This is not going to be a good match. John Cena, great guy. It's not going to be good. This thing, if Undertaker would have come out and been Mark Calloway and just talked to him like he did when he was the American Badass, it could have been. But this whole not answering, sending Kane out there,
what was that?
Like they've tried to make this thing bigger than it could have been, but this thing should have happened 6-7 years ago.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I'll say Undertaker wins, and I'll be at the nacho bar while this entire thing's going on.
Yeah. I think that sums it up. Anything you want to add there, Jordan?
I think Big Evil will be returning. I don't think it's going to be Phenom Taker. I think that kind of gimmick was retired last year with the hat in the ring and things like that. And I think it makes more sense for kind of Mark Calloway, the human being, to take on John Cena, especially with the promo regarding, your wife's Instagram and things like that.
It's less man, more him, isn't it?
Definitely. You don't believe that the Phenom, is working out while his wife films him. That's not really kayfabe.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting. The most interesting thing is what persona are we going to see? So, and I guess we'll find out tonight potentially.
But I think Cena will lose and Taker / Mark Calloway will win.
Groovy. Let's move on to the WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus.
This is the match that makes 7 hours worth of show. Makes matches like Undertaker and Cena worth it. This has been from the second these guys were signed. You wanted to see this match. If Vince does this from now on, he gives us the one match we really want, and then a bunch of matches we don't. I mean, between this and the IC title and the Cruiserweight title, like there are good matches on this card.
Yeah,
if they give them time. And they give them the entrances and everything, give this thing 30 minutes, this could be amazing. The Wrestle Kingdom match was fantastic. If they could just stop calling him the artist and call him the King of Strong Style.
Yeah, what's
that?
Also, for if anyone's interested, New Japan uploaded that entire match to YouTube for free today, so if you want to check that out, then please do. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Yes. Great match. I think this thing is going to be fantastic. I think I'm going to go with the upset. I think that AJ Styles pulls this out. I think even though Nakamura has, I would love this. And this is, again, like you said, I don't really care who wins because either way it's going to be phenomenal. But I think AJ wins this. And I think we could see, because Nakamura has been very smiley and happy. I would not mind seeing a silent but deadly killer Nakamura. I think that would be fantastic. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Nakamura wins, but my pick is AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you reckon, Jordan?
I think if they play off the fact that Shinsuke has beaten AJ in the past in New Japan and they play on that story, I think Shinsuke is going to win the title and AJ kind of gets it back in a year's time or say SummerSlam. and kind of keep that long-term booking style going, similar to as people who watched New Japan this weekend. I believe Tanahashi challenged Okada, and they had a feud like 2 years ago, and suddenly it's come back up again. But it makes sense. I think that's what they're going to do with AJ and Shinsuke. Is kind of have that long-term, I've got your number, oh, now I've got the title back. I think Shinsuke will be beating AJ this weekend.
Interesting. Yeah. Again, it's one of those ones I don't really mind either way, because it's just going to be such an enjoyable match. I don't know. I'm leaning towards AJ winning. I'm not sure. It's the sort of thing which, as the show goes on, my opinion will change on this, as it always does. I'll be like, okay, there's been X type of changes this weekend, therefore this one won't be. You know, that's sort of how it's like when you do a test, you know, and it's multiple choice, and you have like, oh, I've done
two
many
options
A's in a row, so therefore this one mustn't be an A. That's kind of how I'm feeling towards that.
And I think I think there's going to be a clean sweep of championships, especially on the Mania card. I think it's going to be new champions all round to spoil the last match before we even get there.
With that in mind, let us go on to the highlight of the entire weekend, I'm sure. The human potato, Brock Lesnar, versus Captain Charisma himself, or not.
Not Christian Cage.
No, not Christian.
I would love Christian Cage.
Wouldn't that be
this
great?
match.
Yeah.
Oh, he's phenomenal. Shout out to Christian Cage.
Captain Charismaless.
Good old Blue Dot
is still here. Reigns. Do you know what? I don't even care to make a prediction. You know, it's for a stupid, ugly belt. With stupid people.
It's disgusting.
I went as far as to call them ugly, although I did just call Brock Lesnar a potato, because he is a potato.
It's a shame for the Universal title, considering how gorgeous the UK title is. That belt just sucks.
Disgusting piece of hardware.
That's my thing. Like you have you have the UK title, which is so beautiful. Like they couldn't have done anything better.
Yeah.
For the
it's potentially the best looking title they've got at the moment, and it's been defended 3 times.
Yeah.
I believe that the people who made the UK title, don't know if I'm wrong about this, are different to the people who made the Universal title. I believe Leather Rebels, a UK promotion, so shout out to them, because they make gorgeous belts. They did the new Defiant Championships as well.
They also made all the Progress titles. And
Yes.
And if you go on to the Newplex,
Whopper.
the Newplex.com, you can read my article about my favorite titles the Progress World title and the UK title. They're beautiful.
They are.
Absolutely. And I think
it
was
going to be. Oh, go ahead. So, go ahead.
Sorry, villain. I've missed the center. I didn't know.
I am a villain. That's right.
On purpose.
I think
X-Champ is speaking.
The X-Champ. Shout out to the Newplex comic, which you can search on Instagram and discover all our archives. I believe it was something Choppers that made the Universal title.
Yeah, they do like bikes. Yeah.
Yes, I believe they made the Universal title.
I don't want to get us into a whole thing about belts, because that's another podcast. But the first version of this design they did, which is when WWE had the old logo, as in the logo previous to this one. And I really, that's the one I think the Rock one didn't hit at WrestleMania or something.
He actually debuted it on Raw after beating Punk at Chamber 2013.
Right. That's right. And it had the logo at the top, and then sort of like a big gold piece at the bottom that says champion on. It's the same shape, but slightly
the V shape, wasn't it?
It was much prettier. The one that they've got now, which is what's become the WWE Championship, is better than the Universal title, but it's still a bit ugly. The W's
it's not a belt.
No, it's a weird looking thing.
Yeah, I agree. For me, I think they should have kind of brought back the winged eagle design, which a lot of concepts did kind of show on Google, or maybe go for the classic WCW / World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah,
I think that design.
I mean,
or just a new design.
I really liked the one that they had prior to this. It's the logo change didn't work with the new design, and that's why it all fell apart.
Yeah.
If the logo hadn't changed and they'd kept that belt, then I would have been more than happy with that. In fact, I thought it was really, really nice. I was really pleased with it when they debuted it. But yeah, the change of logo has not helped it. But now, unfortunately, you've got like 4 different belts that all look the same. You've got the women's SmackDown Raw title and blah blah blah, and it's just not looking good. Anyways.
Which is why I think the North American title will look very similar to the UK title, just because how gorgeous that belt is.
The only reason I think it won't have that shape is because it's an NXT title and they tend to be slightly different. But otherwise, I totally agree. And you could argue that the UK title is in a sense
belt.
NXT title.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's
story for another day.
Who's gonna win? I don't care, so I'm not even going to make a prediction. What do you guys think?
It's gonna. So this match has to come later in the evening, while the AJ Styles and Nakamura match has to come earlier in the evening.
Yeah.
Because that match, you need energy. This match, you want the crowd to be tired. Mm-hmm. You want them to be dead.
Well,
you want them to not care. Because it's Brock Lesnar when he came back in 2013. All that momentum. It was the night to WrestleMania. People were excited. He has gone from one of the best wrestlers in the world before he left to now he does three moves. Yeah. In every match he's been in, he gets knocked out and he's gone for half the match. And he comes back. This match is going to be terrible. The only good thing about this match is that, one, it's going to end, and Roman Reigns will have the belt will be back on Raw. Yeah. It doesn't need to defend it every week, but my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only thing that's sad about this is if Brock Lesnar goes and he's going, Paul Heyman might leave with him.
Sure, yeah.
And that would be a blow to everyone. But other than that, this is a match that I could not care less.
Paul Heyman is such a pro. Because people say that all the time. It's like Brock Lesnar isn't over. It's just Paul Heyman is the master of everything. And he'd be like, oh, no, it's not me. But it's like, come on, Paul. Everyone knows that it's you. People are really excited that Brock Lesnar's about because it means Paul Heyman's about, and that's the absolute truth.
Absolutely.
Brock Lesnar is, I mean, I don't know, John, you can probably shed more light on this, but within 3 minutes of getting in the ring, he is drenched in sweat, and he's taken 4 steps. He can't move, and I don't know what that is. Is it his conditioning? I don't know. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure he's fantastic. I'm sure he's in the peak of his life. However,
wrestling is a combination of aerobic/anaerobic kind of work. For the people who don't know what that is, aerobic is a more prolonged steady state period of exercise, and anaerobic is more high intensity, fast paced kind of short bursts of work followed by resting. So obviously you kind of get running the ropes, clothesline, knock down, have a rest. So there's a lot of anaerobic work involved, but I think the fact Lesnar's getting gassed so early on is probably due to the fact he's more concerned about packing on size and sacrificing kind of anaerobic training, and therefore he just can't go.
Which
and you've got guys like Finn Balor
in UFC, maybe that's why he's put the focus that way.
Because you want to get it over and done with straight away.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like you're saying,
while going back to
compare that to Finn Balor, and it's it's like the yin and yang. They're like polar opposites.
Finn lasted how long in the Rumble?
Oh, an hour, 58 minutes, something like that. It's insane.
Ridiculous.
Just
absolutely ridiculous.
And basically people have to wrestle around Brock Lesnar. He's this big hulking thing that's sort of wobbling about, and you just have to sort of do moves around him and hope it looks semi-decent. And, I don't have a lot of time for Roman Reigns, but his particular style, I think, actually will manage to make this match somewhere bearable. Just because it involves it's lots of spears and that stupid Superman punch thing. It's quite basic, easy moves that don't require a lot of participation on the part of Brock Lesnar. So there we are.
Yeah, I would agree, and I would say that I think Roman is definitely picking up the belt. If I were booking things, I'd really love to, what I touched on before, see them go New Japan-esque with the next challenger, have Roman kind of do his whole celebration, walk backstage, shakes all the faces' hands, and have Joe jump him to end Mania and challenge him for Backlash. I think that would be a really different way to go with ending Mania.
The only reason I think that won't happen is because people will cheer for Samoa Joe when that happens, and they won't want that. It will end with him raising the belt above, and there'll be, fireworks and blah, blah, blah.
Confetti
I really wish, that would be totally cool, but they won't do that. They really want it to end on a cheer note.
Absolutely, yeah.
If the cleaning crew kicks him out of the ring to clean up the ring, they'll get cheered over Roman Reigns. Yeah. So, but I think have we forgotten the biggest match, the true main event of WrestleMania?
I think we have. We've left out one match, haven't we?
What am I forgetting, folks?
Kurt Angle versus Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
I was going to say
First-
Charlotte and Asuka as well.
Oh my! So full disclosure, I'm the one who gave this list out to people, so I must. So it's my fault. So first, let's talk about the real main event, which is Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie. It's gonna because Stephanie created women. Women's wrestling didn't exist. Women had never wrestled or thought about wrestling until Stephanie McMahon willed it into existence with her two hands, and she thought of everything, and she is the queen of the world. Sure. This match is going to be terrible. None of these people should be wrestling. It's going to be awful. I sound like I'm a very negative person, but this match, it's all hype. The Rock should be in the role that Kurt Angle is in because Kurt Angle shouldn't be wrestling. He scares me when he wrestles at this point in his life.
Yeah.
So I pray this thing doesn't go on last, which it's a real possibility because there's a McMahon involved. But I think hopefully this thing is quick and Ronda Rousey will make Stephanie tap, and then she'll get whatever the emasculated version is for women, effeminated, because Steph's got to get her heat back.
Sure. Yeah, totally agree. I don't know where this will come in the card. I'm pretty sure the Universal Championship will finish the show. I honestly, I don't have anything to add to that. It's one of those things. Ronda Rousey's, I just can't make my mind up. I don't have a problem with her being here. The fact that her first match will be at WrestleMania is contentious, to say the least. Yeah, it's gonna happen, and I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt for now. And I am, the hype has worked. I'm hyped. I don't know. I'm interested to see who's gonna win this. Jordan, what do you think?
I believe that Angle and Rousey will be winning this, with Rousey making Stephanie tap in some capacity.
Cool. Nice, short and sweet. Let's move on then to what we nearly forgot, which is Asuka versus Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte, yeah.
So I just talked about the company. I'm going to praise them now. The way they have treated Asuka since she's come to the company from NXT to now, they have built her up as this legitimate, total badass. They have kept her aura intact 100%. So I give them all the credit in the world. This is the right match. This match really could steal the show.
Potentially, yeah.
Given time, this is. I mean, I don't know if it'll go. I don't know if it'll go over Nakamura and Styles and the IC triple threat, but this match is going to be a strong contender. It's going to be a great match. Charlotte Flair, from where she started in NXT to now, is night and day. She works harder than absolutely anyone. This match, I am 100% on board. I think that Asuka wins. They're not going to give up this streak. Whoever wins this streak, they want to give to someone who they make. They want to make someone with this. I would love it to be Kairi Sane. I don't know if they would do that with the two Japanese stars. But I just think this match is going to be fantastic. I really can't wait for Asuka's entrance. Yep. I'm sure it's going to be elaborate and amazing. Yep. So Asuka, this will probably be the second to third best match of the entire night.
Yeah, totally. Jordan, what do you make?
I think Asuka is 100% picking up the victory. She's going to hold that belt for God knows how long. And I think in a year's time, Ember Moon is going to be the one to take it off her long-term booking.
Sure.
Ooh, I like that.
And it would be so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Well, with that being said, I think we better wrap up. We're a mere hour over time. I mean, by our standards, that's pretty good.
Sorry, Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah. Charlie's our editor, and he'll be joining us in the podcast in future, I'm sure, for non-wrestling related discussions. That's it. This wasn't episode 1 of the podcast. This was sort of like a pre-podcast. We're gonna fix some technical glitches, and we're gonna be back shortly after WrestleMania to talk about all things WrestleMania and the Raw after WrestleMania, I'm sure, and all that good stuff. And then we're likely to be moving towards a fortnightly type podcasts where we sort of take a topic of the week and discuss that. So it won't be wrestling every week, but it will be all sorts of good fun. Every week, every fortnight. So thanks for listening. I shall say goodbye, and let the guys say goodbye.
Dad, you go first.
Bye.
It's been a pleasure, Newplex fans. And I say fans, I mean followers. Thank you for your support, and
All
we
of them.
shall speak to you soon via
Indeed.
podcast.
Yes. Thanks for listening, guys.
All right,
and
everyone. Thank you for listening. Making sure you follow us all. You can follow me at Center Club on Twitter. Make sure you follow us for hopefully weekly updates on our website, our redesign. Big hand to Mr. Jads on the redesign of the website. Go check it out. Leave comments and leave feedback on this podcast.
Yes.
We want to know what we did right. We want to know what we did wrong, so we can bring you the best product every fortnight. Thank you guys very much.
Absolutely.
Yes. Right. Thanks for listening, and we will catch up with you soon. Bye, guys.